Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing this cozy headband and matching wrist cuffs. Both of these patterns are pretty easy to make, and you should be able to make a whole set in about an hour and a half. Here is the headband, and you can see that I've got a lot of different textures here, and the wrist cuffs look exactly the same as the headband. And both patterns are worked basically the same way. So I will be making the headband first, and stick around till the end because I will provide instructions for the wrist cuffs as well. You will need a 7mm crochet hook, and you can use any size 4 medium weight yarn. I'm using Mainstays Sparkle Acrylic in silver. These are super easy to size as well. You can use any even number and just follow the pattern and you'll be fine. For the headband, I started with a chain 48, but you can use whatever even number fits around your head, and just chain them loosely and then slip stitch to the first chain to form a ring. To get started with the first row, you're just going to chain 1 and then yarn over and work a half double crochet in that first stitch where you placed your slip. And then we are going to work a half double crochet in each chain all the way around the piece. And when you're done, you will have 48 half double crochets, and we are going to be using an invisible join on every row for the whole piece. So just continue around until you get to the other side. To make an invisible join, instead of going through this on this side, you are going to pull that loop out and remove your hook and insert your hook through the back side of that first half double and then pull your loop through. And this is going to give us an invisible seam, and it's also going to eliminate that pesky slip stitch at the end of each round. Just like that. And from there, we're going to chain 1 and go ahead and turn your work. And for this row, we are going to be alternating between a half double crochet and a front post double crochet. So work your half double crochet in that first stitch and just pay attention to where your post and your stitch are. This is the post, this is the stitch that sets just behind it. And this next post is the one that we are going to work our front post double crochet around. And when you do the front post, that next stitch is kind of hidden back here. So this is the next post, and this is the stitch right here that we are going to be working our half double crochet into. And then yarn over, and our next front post, again, there's the stitch in the post, and we are going into the next half double crochet post. Double crochet. And again, here's the post, and this here is the stitch that we're using. So you're just going to continue alternating a half double crochet and a front post double crochet all the way around until you get to the other side. And this is what it'll look like. You can see that those front posts are raised off of it. And when you get to the end of this row, your last stitch should be a front post double crochet. So this is the last half double, this is the stitch, this is the post, and that next post is kind of hidden in here where you turned on the last row. So don't forget to make that last front post double crochet there. And again, we are going to close this with an invisible join. So take out your hook and just insert it through the back side of that first stitch of the round, and then grab the loop and pull it through. and then just turn your work so it's facing you again and pull everything. You don't want to pull it too snug, but just like that. And for the next row, we're going to chain 1, and we are not turning. We are just going to work a half double crochet in each one of these stitches all the way around the piece. And again, when you get to the other side, we will be closing this round with that invisible join. And this is the last one that I'm going to show you guys. So just insert that hook through the back side of the first stitch and then pull your working loop through it. And pull it tight. Just like that. And now you can see that our invisible join has really made for a seamless finish. Chain 1 and go ahead and turn your work again. And this time we are going to be working in the third loop of the half double crochet. So if you examine these stitches on the front side, you can see each half double crochet stitch. Here is the stitch on the top that we usually go through, but if you turn it and look at the back side, it's got this extra loop on every single one. And that is the loop that we are going to be working into. And we're just going to put a single crochet in each one of those. So just insert your hook. It's just the one loop. So you're just going to grab that loop with your hook and pull your yarn through and work a single crochet. And we are going to do that on every single one of these. Here's the stitch, and here is that third loop. I have heard this called a camel stitch before, but it's really easy and it has a really pretty finish when it's done. So every time you work one of these singles, because we're in the back side of it, it's pushing that actual stitch that we usually use, it's pushing that forward to the front side of the piece. And if you look at the front, you can see both loops of each one of those half double crochet stitches. So just continue working those single crochet in the third loop of the half double in each one all the way around. And when you get to the other side, you can go ahead and do your invisible join again, and we'll be ready to start the next row. Now turn your work so that the outside or textured side is facing you, and then chain 1. And we are just going to work a single crochet in each stitch all the way around to the other side. And then close that round with an invisible join again. And this is going to be our bobble row. So you're going to chain 1 and go ahead and turn your work so that the inside of the piece is facing you. And we are going to work a single crochet in the first stitch, and in the next stitch we're going to do a bobble. So yarn over, insert your hook and pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through 2. And we're going to do that 5 times. There's 2, there's 3, there's 4, and this is 5. And you'll notice that you have 6 loops on your hook, and we are going to yarn over and just pull through all 6 of those. That is our bobble, and then single crochet in the next stitch, and then work another bobble in the next stitch. There's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. There's 6 loops on my hook, and yarn over, and I'm going to pull through all 6 of them. And then single crochet in the next stitch. And you're just going to continue all the way around working a single crochet and a bobble over and over. And this is what it looks like on the front side. And when you're finished, you will have a total of 24 all the way around. Now, once you've made your invisible join on your bobble row, we're going to chain 1 and go ahead and turn your piece again so that those bobbles are facing you. And for this row, we are just going to work a half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. And then go ahead and close that with the invisible join again. And you're going to chain 1, turn your work so that the inside of the piece is facing you. And for this row, we are going to be working in that 3rd loop of the half double again. So just single crochet in each one of those 3rd loops all the way around to the other side, and then close it with an invisible join. And for the next row, we're just going to chain 1. Don't turn. You're just going to half double crochet in each stitch all the way around to the other side. And then again, join that with our invisible join. And this row is going to be another post row. So just like the last one, we're going to chain 1, turn so that the textured part of the piece is facing you, and we're going to half double crochet in this first stitch, and then we will work a front post double crochet around the post of the next half double of the previous round. And just like before, we're just going to continue alternating between a half double crochet and a front post double crochet to the other side, and then join that again with an invisible join. This is what it looks like, and again, we are just mimicking the other side of it. So this is our last row, and we're just going to chain 1. Don't worry about turning. We're just going to half double crochet in each stitch all the way around the piece till you get to the other side. And once you've reached the other side, you don't have to do an invisible join. I just go into the first stitch that I made of the round and slip stitch, and then you can go ahead and cut your yarn and tie that off and weave in your ends, because this is finished. And you can see that we have got a nice seamless finish and all of these great textures on the front side. Now for the wrist cuffs, again, these are worked exactly the same way as the headband. They are just downsized, and I did add a few increases to get this kind of bell shape. So using the same hook and yarn, I just started with a chain 16, and again, you can use any even number as long as it's big enough to fit around the widest part of your hand. And I increased by 2 stitches on this first half double crochet row after the post row, 2 stitches on this single crochet row just before the bobble row, and 2 stitches on the half double crochet row after the bobble row. And to make those increases, I just added an extra stitch in the first and the last stitch of each of those rounds. So I started with 16 and went up to 18 and then 20 and then 22, and I finished the remainder of the glove at 22 stitches. Now I will provide a written reference just after this on the stitch pattern for these, but you will notice that sometimes I turned and sometimes I didn't. Now, because we used an invisible join, randomly turning in the round is not going to affect the overall look of the finished piece at all. So when you're working these, just make sure that your post rows and your half double crochet rows are worked with the textured side of the piece facing you, and these third loop only rows and the bobble row need to be worked with the inside of the piece facing you so that all of those textures are on the outside on the finished piece. Here is that reference for you guys, and you will notice that it's worked from the bottom up, so start at the bottom. That is it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions regarding this pattern, please leave them in the comments below. I will be back next week with a tutorial for these forest-themed clay heart pendants, and I just designed this mermaid tail big lighter pouch that I am excited to share as well, so stay tuned for those videos. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week.